Let's talk about culture of blessing. What is culture of blessing? And what culture do we have? Okay. So ano yung kultura natin? What culture are we having to promote change? You see, we want change, and what are our methods in bringing change to people? The most common method that we use here in the Philippines is the shame-based culture. What do I mean when I say shame-based? It means you you inspire, you create change by putting people to shame. That's why we have these words, nakakahiya. It's shameful. Mahiya ka naman. Be shameful. Mapapahiya ako nito. I will be put to shame by this. So, don't do it. Nakakahiya. Huwag mong gawin. It's shameful. Don't do it. It's shameful. So, you will not do this. I will post you on Facebook. I will put you to shame. So, we want change by using this shame-based culture. And having a shame-based culture is not really healthy. Using shame to 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 create change is not really very empowering. Okay? In fact, it creates more insecurities. Like, we are more concerned with the name of our family than the well-being of our children. Like you are saying, wag mong ipapahiya ang pangalan natin. Kahihiyan ka sa pamilyang to. Itatakwil kita. I see. You see those words? You are shame on this family. I will kick you out of this family. You are putting shame on our name. You see, that's the words that we used to hear. So, does it inspire change? Will it inspire change? Do you see our nature, our culture helping Philippines to be better? Did you notice change? You see, family, our society is just a reflection of every home today. Our society is just a reflection of every home. Which means, if your home is broken, that's why the society is broken. If there are thieves in the community, because you have been taught thief at home. Okay? We use this shame-based culture very freely. Okay? Very freely. We use it in politics. You see, when we do something, or I watch one news when the president is being attacked by the opposite side. His way of attacking back is not based on the issue, but he's digging the personal problem of the enemy. And so, using it, putting it to shame, and so, it's close. Okay, so, even at church, we use this freely. Especially if you say, you should do discipleship. If you don't disciple, you are not like us. You see, you are not like us. You will not pass our standard. Nakakahiya ka. Ang iba mong kasama has 12 disciples, has 14 disciples, has many disciples, has many D group, has many small groups. But why are you not having one? You are ostracizing yourself. You see, you don't belong here. Yan. So, you feel, we call it guilt tripping. You instill guilt to change the person. Okay? So, if you don't do this, nakakahiya. You are not loved by God. If you don't give these tithes, give this offering, you are you are telling things to guilt trip that person, and so that person live in guilt for the rest of his life. That's called guilt tripping. It's rampant at churches. It's not inspiring them to do this out of love. You see, the method is out of fear, out of shame, and out of guilt. Shame, fear, guilt. So we use this method to do God's word, God's work. You see, means won't justify the ends. It doesn't mean that you are doing God's work, but you're using this method, instilling fear to your people, instilling shame. That look at these people, they're giving big tithes and you are not. And you have the same work, you have the same business. You see, so it's guilt tripping. Look at this family, they are serving God faithfully. Why are you not? Serving God should be out of love. We need to serve God out of love. We cannot use fear to tell people to serve God. Because our greatest motivation should be, Lord, I love you. I will give my life to you. I will surrender. I will do everything what it takes, Lord, to obey you. It's not, Lord, I am afraid of hell. I want to serve you. Lord, my friends are having a discipleship. They are having this music team and all. And I'm not being part of one of it. And it feels me guilty, Lord, so I will serve you. No. It works in many ways, this shame-based way, culture, but it's not empowering and it's not lasting. And people who suffered from this way in the church leaves the church and goes to a church who doesn't have this kind of approach. You see, the Bible and the Bible of the Jews during the time of Jesus is the same. The rabbis were reading the Tanakh, Torah, Ketubim, Nabi. So these books were the same books that Jesus is reading. But when Jesus is teaching, it's different. So they ask, where does your authority comes from? Who is your teacher? They were shocked to find out that Jesus doesn't have any teacher. And how come you teach these words differently, but you read the same word with us? The answer is, Jesus is looking the Bible with the eyes of grace. He looks at the Bible with the eyes of grace. That's why when he interprets it, it's different. You see, the rabbis in their time teaches, forgive your brother 3 times. If you forgive your brother 3 times, you are holy already. But when Jesus teaches disciples, no, forgive 77 times. That's why when Peter said, Lord, should I forgive my brother 7 times? Wow, he is more generous than a rabbi, than the law require. But Peter was surprised with the reply of Jesus because he was thinking he will get a tap on the back. Oh, very good, Peter. You are so kind right now. But he was shocked because Jesus replied, no, 77 times. It's a figure of speech saying, do not hold grudges. It's not literal that you count 7, 7. No. It means do not hold grudges. 7 is a perfect number for them. So when it says 77 times, you forgive perfectly. You always forgive. You don't hold grudges. Okay? That is grace. He reads the Bible with the eyes of grace. What I'm trying to say is, he looks at everything with the eyes of grace. He is so gracious. He doesn't do this. He does everything in the eyes of grace. Even the woman caught in adultery, what did he say? The law said, she must be stoned to death. Okay, I will not break the law because I am a law-abiding citizen Jew. So what do you say, teacher? Jesus was cornered. He has his follower following him because of his grace. And this is the Pharisee who is asking him to obey the law. So what will you do now as a rabbi? He looked down and write something on the wall, writing, watch this. No, he did not write, watch this. He wrote, he's figuring, he's writing. Didn't that law written in the tablet of stone? Now I am writing again, but in the hearts of men. Okay, you want to stone her to death because she's caught in adultery. Where is the man? Why is it that you only drag the woman? You saw them both? They just want to punish the woman, you know. So Jesus said, you even chose who needs to be punished. So let me tell you this. He who has not sinned, cast the first stone. Do you have sin? He who has not sinned, cast the first stone. Yes, you can judge the woman now. But he who has not sinned, cast the first stone. Let the one among you who did not commit any sin cast the first stone. Still biblical. So the Bible said in John 8, and they left one by one, starting from the elder. The elder, they stopped one by one. They left one by one. Why? Because the more you stay longer on this planet, the more you commit sin. And the more you realize that you are a sinner, saved by grace. And so, what I'm trying to say is, this should be our message. This is the culture of blessing, this grace that I'm talking about. You see, we are in the post-Christianity. We are in the post-era now. We are in the post-Christians. We have what we call pre-Christians, those who did not know Jesus, and we have what we call post-Christians, those who knew Jesus but left Christianity. And do you know who's more? This group, the post-Christians. They experienced Christianity but they left. Why? Because they felt being condemned by the Christians. They did not feel any grace at all. They have been the weapon of discrimination. They use the Bible to insult people. They use the Bible to laugh at the mistake of people. Wow. What a convenient way to insult people. Using the Bible. Okay? So, they left Christianity. And so, this is your market right now. The post-Christians. And this market doesn't listen. And this market do not believe. This is like courting a divorcee than a virgin. Okay, so if you are courting a single woman, virgin, this woman, you can inspire this woman. You can bola this woman with your words. Because she never heard those words before. That's why you can ask her and you can marry her. But tell that to a divorcee. Oh, no. I heard all of it. I've been to all men, all kinds of men, and I know what you're talking about. You are all good for nothing. You see? That's a divorcee. And this is the post-Christians. That's why you cannot convince these post-Christians to go back to Christianity because they don't believe in words anymore. Words doesn't have life anymore. That's why Jesus said, "Let your light shine before men," Matthew 5:14, "so that they may see your good deeds." Good words, good deeds. It's good deeds. Good works, not good words. Okay? So that they will praise your Father in heaven. Did you hear it? People are tired of listening. They want to see it. They want to see, they want to feel the gospel. Not anymore on talking. So we need to have this culture of blessing in churches, at home, at work, at every nook and cranny of our society, so that we can continue to inspire change. What I'm trying to say is, this culture of blessing is seldom heard in our community. You see, I've been preaching to different churches since before I was a pastor. Okay? Even before I entered seminary. Before I entered seminary, imagine, before I entered college, I was preaching a message of a culture of blessing. And when I preach this, I always see tears in their eyes. I always see hearts being melted, hearts being moved. And they want this kind of teaching. They are tired of this condemning teachings. They are tired of these messages about fully intellectual. They want a message that goes straight to the heart. And so, whenever I went to churches and I speak this message, I see change. I see a heart being revived. And so I think we pastors or Christians, we need to share this message of culture of blessing. Okay, what is culture of blessing? It's a culture of affirmation. It's a culture where you focus on the positive. It's a culture where you magnify the positive, you magnify it so that it will grow and grow and grow, and you see the negative side of that person disappear. That's the culture of blessing. You magnify the strengths, and so you see the negative side die down. You see, Peter said in 1 Peter 3:7, "Humble yourself in the mighty hand of God, for in due time He will lift you up." Humble yourself, submit to God, and resist the devil, and he will flee from you. It said, submit to God. You submit to God, and resist the devil, and he will flee from you. It means you don't focus on the devil, that I will rebuke this, rebuke this, rebuke this. No. Your focus is to submit to God. The more you submit to God, the more you forget that you have a temptation to fight, a battle to fight, a problem to overcome. It disappears. Why? Because you are focused right now with God. You become what you focus in life. If you are so focused in this problem that you don't have time with God anymore, you are magnifying the problem. You see, the devil is so small. Very small. But we see the devil as so big. Why? Because he is so close with our eyes. Oh, ang laki ng problema. Our problem is so big. But let me tell you this. Get that and put it away. And you'll see, oh, this is so small compared to my God, so big. Okay? What I'm trying to say is the culture of blessing is a culture of affirmation. We speak the kind words. We speak positive to people. You see, we inspire change to people. You find the potential and you affirm it. This is your potential. You can do better. You can do better. I know you are good at this. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Okay, that is affirmation. You are saying what you see. It's not bola, okay? It's not like you are deceiving the person, or you are doing flattery to the person. No, no, no. You need to tell the sincere things that you appreciate about the person. What do you like about the person? What is his strengths, his talents, his skills? Verbalize it, speak it. Okay? So with sincerity. So we need to learn to affirm. We need to learn to appreciate, to thank the people. And in doing so, you are inspiring the people to be better and better. And that person becomes better as well. It is focusing on the potential of the person. You see, in John 1:42, Jesus looked at him and he called him Simon, son of John. You will be called Cephas. Now, first meeting of Peter, he called him by his name, and then he called him, you are Simon. He called his name, son of John. I know you. I know your dad. I know your background. I know you. You shall be called Cephas, which when translated is Peter. So here, Jesus is saying, I know you. But did Jesus say the negative things that he saw in Peter? Oh, this one is good for nothing. He's good in stalking, but poor doer. He's a good starter, but a poor finisher. He's the one person who says, I will die for you, Lord, and he runs for his life. He denies him 3 times. What I'm trying to say is, Jesus did not tell these things to Peter, and he changed his name. Meaning, Jesus is focused on the potential of Peter. He doesn't see Simon as a finished product. You see, people sees us as finished product. Hindi na magbabago yan. Ganyan na yan. Oh, that person won't change. Oh, he will not really change. He is that kind of person. We are a product in the making. God doesn't see us as a finished product, but a product in the making. You see, people judges us by what we are doing now. That's who you are. That's what you are. You will never change. But God judges us by what we can become. Who you will become. Okay? So He's not judging us right now. He's not putting a period in our life right now. He's just putting a comma. Okay? And He's turning to the next page. He's turning to the next chapter. Maybe you are in the part of your book right now that you are in the story of sadness, poverty, trials. But the next chapter is hope, love, favor. Okay? So God is not finished with us yet. So don't finish it. Don't think that God is... So do not think that God is finished with you. God is not. He is so patient and He is so gracious. Okay? So let us help one another to change this culture, starting with our family. You see, by empowering them, not through shame. Okay? Na you will put them to shame if they don't participate, they don't cooperate, they don't obey you. That you will put them to shame with their friends. No, that's not a good thing. Okay? We have been so in a shame-based culture that even if we have an enemy, we want them to put to shame on live screen, live TV, live YouTube telecast. That's why people really love the Tulfo. Yeah, that's so famous that we want them to be Tulfo. Tulfo lies. Tulfo size. Yeah, so Tulfo size the word. So we want them to be put on Tulfo so that they will change their way. And it works. It works. Yes, because people are afraid to be put to shame. That's why it works. So, and there's a fast action there. But what I'm trying to say is, we need to inspire a different way. We need to inspire in a different way. We cannot always use this shame, this fear, and this guilt tripping to people. Let us start using the culture of blessing. Affirmation, speaking. It's not about focusing. It's not about there is no correction anymore. There is the difference between correction and criticism. Criticism, this is the problem. So you said, you are wrong, you did it wrong, you can do nothing right. So that is criticism. You are not helping the person how to do it right. This is the correction. This is what you did. This is what you did, and this is wrong. And this is how to do it. So let's do it this way. So you guided the person to do what is right. So that is correction. You are more focused on the solution than the problem. So that's the correction, okay? So it's fine to correct, but not to criticize. Okay, so you correct, you amend the wrong to be right. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't mean that we don't correct people anymore, that we just keep on affirming. No, you say positive words, kind words, so that you see little people belittle people. Small people make people feel others smaller so that he can feel big. Because truly great people inspires others that you too can be great. So if a person is a great person, he will inspire others, you know what, you can do better than me. And that's what Jesus said to his disciples. I will live and you will do greater things than what I did. Wow, that's the lines of Jesus. He's inspiring his disciples that you can do better than me. I tell you that. Okay, so it's an assurance. And then they did really perform. Peter, who's been called Peter, 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 you will become a rock, you will become a rock, because Simon means leafy, like that. But Peter is like a rock, steady, a firm foundation. And so when Peter preached, 3,000 got saved and baptized because Jesus believes in him. He trusted in him. When nobody else trusted him, Jesus sees his potential. Okay? So that's what culture of blessing is about. Seeing the potentials of people while others see the problem in that person. Okay? Let us inspire change. Let us cultivate change, not by using these three attitude, this guilt tripping, this shame-based culture, and let's start the culture of blessing. Do you know the culture of the Jew? They have a culture of blessing. It's a culture of affirmation. You see, there was this Filipino helper in a Jewish family, and you know what happened? The daughter tried to cook the food of the family, the specialty of their mom. But when the helper tasted it, he said, "Oh my, this is different." And this is their dinner, okay? So it's an important meal. And she thought to herself, "Nako, mapapagalitan to." Nako. She said, "This one will be scolded." Okay? She will be scolded by this. But when they ate, and so they were eating, and then the mom tasted the food. Do you know what the mom said? "Oh, good for a first time." See? That's positive. Because it's first time, you cannot expect people to be perfect. When your house is a place of improvement, a house where people can freely make mistakes, you see, that is democracy. You have a democracy at home, that you have the freedom to make mistakes. You see, if you make your home, there's no room for mistakes, then people will not grow to their fullest potential if they're afraid to commit mistakes. So open your place for mistakes. Let your children fail, because in failing, they will be better. Okay? Thomas Edison said, "I did not fail 10,000 times. I find 10,000 ways that did not work, and so I found the right one." Okay, so Maxwell said, "If you are not failing 5 times a day, you are not growing." Okay, so there's a room for mistake, there's a room for improvement. But if you say, "No one fails in this house," imagine you cannot walk when you are a toddler, you cannot walk if you don't trip, if you don't fall. You learn walking by falling. Okay, and so you determine not to fall again. That should be the culture of our houses, our homes. that we are free to make mistakes and be being corrected. Okay, so that's their culture. Affirmation, positive. Every Shabbat, Shalom, they gather as a family. The father leads them to eat, and then the father blesses everybody, from the youngest to the eldest, and then the wife. They bless, and their blessing is this: May God bless you with leadership like David, humility like Moses. That's how they bless, through their ancestral wisdom like Solomon. That's why a 14-year-old Jew is earning millions by just creating an app. Because they have been released, they have been blessed by their parents. And what do we hear from our parents right now? Some grew up in curse. Tanga, bobo, walang silbi, palamunin. All the cursing words that we hear are not empowering us to be better in the outside world. In fact, it creates more insecurity in us. That's why when we go out, we have that strong desire to prove ourselves. I need to prove myself to them so that they can see my worth. You see, people are proving themselves because they are not complete in themselves. They need to be affirmed by others because they have not felt it from their parents. You see, Jesus, before starting ministry, the Father told him in his baptism, "You are my Son, in whom I am well pleased." Wow. "This is my beloved Son, and I am very pleased of him." Jesus did not do anything yet. He did not perform any miracles yet. No miracles yet. No healing. No opening of blind eyes. No healing of leprosy. No raising the dead. No stopping the rain. No everything. No multiplying the bread. No multiplying the fish. No. Nada. No miracles. And yet the Father told him, "I love you and I am very pleased of you." Even without performing one single miracle. It means that Jesus was affirmed first by his identity, that I love you, son. If you do good, I love you. If you do bad, I still love you. That's the identity we have in God. That God loves us unconditionally. It's not based on our performance, whether we will do good later or we will do bad. But God is telling us, God loves us. You don't have to perform to earn your worth to me. God is telling Jesus. And that's what He is telling to us right now. Because sometimes we feel that we need to perform so that the Father, our Father on earth, our parents will love us. Because we are taught to earn our worth. You want to be noticed at home? Get a straight A's. You want to be noticed at home? Give your parents money. We have learned to earn our worth. And so we think the same with God, that we need to earn our worth before God. And that is grace. Grace simply means you don't deserve it. You cannot earn it because grace is something that is given to you even though you don't deserve it. So how can you call something a grace when you work for it? That's called reward. Okay, and the love of God is grace, charis in Greek. Okay, so it's freely given to us. Okay, that is grace. And we are called as Christians, as followers of Jesus Christ, to be gracious and not to be a source of condemnation to the people around us. Let us be salt and light in this post-Christian world. But Christians are like divorcee. They cannot be won by words. They can only be won by works and by actions and by social justice, by helping the poor, by doing the things, by helping ease the pain of the community. So we'll talk more about this in later. Okay, so thank you for listening. All the best. God bless us all.